approaching 60,000 miles with the FJ, so I figured it's a good time to go ahead and change out the rear differential fluid. Eventually I'll do the front differential and the transfer case, but for today it's just the rear. So I have 3 quarts, since it takes just a little under 3 quarts of gear oil. I decided to go with the Lucas synthetic 7590, 3 of these. I went ahead on Amazon and ordered up the new seals for the actual bolts that go in, and they're going to be 24 millimeter. This is a 1/2 inch drive here, and down here this is right off of the manual itself. So I basically have 36 foot-pounds. That'll be for the fill and drain, and this is for the rear differential here. So that's what I'll be using. Some gloves to try to keep things slightly tidy, since this stuff gets pretty messy. And of course down here is my handy dandy drain that actually all seals up, so I can take it down and get it recycled. Alright, so here we have the fill plug. Here's the drain plug down here. Again, 24 millimeter socket. Got this thing go ahead and standing by. Anytime you guys do anything, I can't suggest enough, go ahead and always take off the actual fill plug first, because if that's stuck and you get this one off, then you can actually drain the fluid out and not get anything back in, and then you're kind of SOL. So it's always a good idea. Now this one isn't too bad. I'm down here where we don't really have any rust, but if you're up north, this is all rusted up. Go ahead and hit it with some PV Blaster or WD-40. Get this one out first, and then take this one out. It's always the way you want to do it. So let's see how bad the fluid looks. Alright, take the fill one out first, just in case anything drains. It doesn't. Of course, that's just hollow in there. The bolt down here will have a magnet for anything. We'll get that all cleaned up. So for now, we'll just kind of put this over here. Now let's go ahead and get this bottom one out. Alright, so we have that one loosened up. Let's just go ahead and relocate this. This is some really stinky, slippery stuff. So we'll go ahead and get this plug out of here. And there we go. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. So I'm glad we're going ahead and doing this. I have a 1/2 inch expandable socket wrench, which makes leverage pretty easy. And now we'll let this take its time and drain. Yeah, that's so thick it's having a hard time getting down there. What a mess. Alright, but we'll go ahead and let that completely drain out. And we'll clean up anything. So I'll go ahead and take these plugs over here to the bench. Alright, again, this is the drain plug here, fill plug, kind of hollow. Got a magnet in this one, a bunch of stuff. I'm going to clean that off, let you guys have a look. Here's the 2 old seals, and I've got the new ones in here. They're really cheap just to buy a whole set of them, and some people like to reuse them. When it comes to anything that has fluid that could be leaking underneath, it's just worth it to spend a couple dollars is all to go ahead and replace these. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up, and let's see how bad it was with the sediment that's on it. Okay, there again, if you do see some buildup on the magnetic one, don't panic. As long as there's no big chips, that's normal wear and tear. That's why it's good to go ahead and keep fresh fluid to go ahead and cut down the wear and tear inside of your differential. So that cleaned up nice right here. Cleaned up both sides. I use my favorite good old Fantastic here, along with this one here also. Got the new crush washers, and these will go on when I'm all done underneath there. So these will have to come with me. This is a little funnel later for dumping it into a different container, so I can go ahead and take it down to the recycle center. This bag here I got on Amazon. It's good for the 2 diffs and the transfer case. That's why we've got all kinds of gaskets in there. I think it was $8 for everything, and at least that way everything goes on fresh and you shouldn't have to worry about leaks. Okay, get the drain plug in right here. I'm going to go ahead and just snug it up so I can go ahead and get the fluid in. And for those of you guys that have never changed out the differential fluids in a vehicle before, it really stinks because of, I think it's got some sulfur in it and some other stuff, but it really doesn't smell very nice. And the longer that it gets dirty, the older it gets, it'll get a smell that'll get in your nose and it won't come out for months. So this one wasn't too bad. So that's the drain plug. I'm going to snug it up. And then we're going to start putting in, it should take just under 3 quarts. And I should be able to just get the bottle up in here and squeeze it. I shouldn't have to use a lift pump or anything. And then when it starts to come out, we'll stop, make sure the drain is under there. And when we get a amount that's leaking out that looks like a real fine little amount, and then we can go ahead and put the plug back in. So for now, let's go ahead and get this snugged up and let's get some fluid in there. Alright, so we took right at 3 quarts. Shine a flashlight in there, the level of the fluid is right at the mouth of this. This has stopped dripping, so it's evened out. Just have to put the plug in, torque those down, clean up, and that's it for this. Okay, all cleaned out, filled up. Plugs have been cleaned and have the crush washers changed there and underneath here. These are a little fantastic. Cleaned it all up. Won't have to worry about this for about another 60,000 miles now, especially with the Lucas Synthetic. So next time I need to get up there and get the transfer case and front differential and see what other kind of goodies, hint, I have coming up here. And this time we'll curl up under there. We'll drop some rock guards. I got 3 more quarts. Between the 3 of these, this should take care of the front differential and the transfer case. And this time I'll be using this little guy here. Different size tubes. I got this on Amazon also, so you can pump up and in. Later on I'll probably even use this for the transmission when I go ahead and swap that out. But that's it for today. Let's get this on YouTube and see if it helps any of you guys out.